Merry Christmas. This is my favorite time of the year, also my least favorite, for some pretty obvious reasons. I'm I'm doing. I'm here. I am alive. I was working today and it's just kind of all hitting me like a wave, and this is something I've been dealing with for a while. And I always have these ideas in the moment, like when I was working, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so passionate about this. Just like, I feel so invested in how I feel. And then I just think to myself a couple hours later, when I rethink about it, I'm like, that's so stupid. Why would I stop? No, just don't even. So that is something I do want to speak on today. Hoping the lighting is hitting me right. Hope I look hot. That's what I was going for. Let me make sure I look hot. So, I'm starting to think it's not just me. I don't know if security is out today. Hope not. Oh, they are. They sure are. Why do I grieve things I've ruined? Sorry, I wrote all this down. Why is he looking at me? Why do I grieve the things that I've ruined? The things I've never meant to break. Yet, I watched it all. Fuck, sorry, I can't. Sorry, I wrote all this down. The subject is suppression. Because I suppress my feelings a lot. And I struggle with that. In and out of relationships, close and far, I suppress my feelings. But I wrote all this down so I wouldn't forget it. I'm really bad with words. Why do I grieve the things that I've ruined? The things I've never meant to break, yet I watch fall apart in my own hands. Maybe I ruined it to protect, to shield others from me, or to save myself from a future pain that I already fear. I mourn what I destroy when I know it was my own doing. And from here, I tend to look internally, because I can point fingers. I can make someone else the root of my problem. But at the end of the day, it's me. I got on my best fit today, when I felt the most confident in, but sound like a cat. How do you forgive yourself for ruining something so great? It's really hard to grieve something that I lost, but it's almost worse to grieve something that was in my control. I held guilt for so long, telling myself, you're so weak, it's your fault, I can't be trusted with something good in the future. I'm cruel, and I must punish myself until I learn my lesson. Because I feel like if I punish myself, maybe I'll learn my lesson. It's your fault. Hoping that enough punishment would teach me a lesson. I still do this. I'm not going to sit here and lie like I listen to myself when I say that growth is realizing you hurt them and moving on. I can't do that. I'm still hurting and I don't feel punished enough. I might have to pause here in a second. But I'm learning that this is what changes me and what is meant to change me. I'm loving softer, talking louder, and talking to security right now. How's it going?
Good.
Good, how are you?
Good. You look familiar.
I've been here a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. I know the other security guys. I think I've only seen you a couple times.
Okay.
Will, and then I forgot who else. Greg, maybe.
Greg.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. I won't be here long.
You're fine.
Okay.
Doesn't look like you're doing anything wrong.
And if it does, let me know. Let me know.
No worries. Have a good Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, dude. I hope you get double time.
I am.
Okay, good.
Have a good night.
You as well. What a great guy. What a great guy. I wish more security guys were like that. I'm loving softer, talking louder, showing up more, regret, and realizing that regret came from realizing what I lost. Suppressing my emotions doesn't make me strong, it makes me unpredictable. I don't hide my feelings because I want to seem I need to not hide my feelings because I want to seem tough and be the manly man. I need to let those people decide the reactions. If they stay, keep it strong, build something. If not, let them leave. They weren't meant for me. If they stay, tell them you love them, show them how much you care, but also show them your flaws. Show them that I am angry today. I am sad today. Something you said did bother me, but I want to work past it. I don't know how to process my emotions right now. I don't want to lose someone like you. You're a good friend to me, and I don't want to lose something so close. I've dealt with this a lot because recently I have lost many friendships because I guess, to put it bluntly, I was an asshole. But to be more general, I was selfish. I decided my emotions were more important than others in situations where it seemed like it was fair. But it was the small things that added up. The small side comments, the small dismissals. Yeah, being nonchalant is not cool. Being nonchalant is not fucking cool. I don't care what you say. Not caring about the negative thoughts that people have on you is great. But being nonchalant and suppressing your emotions and not telling someone how you feel, even after the time and the feeling has passed, it's not cool. You have to learn to put everything on the table. Hey, I'm sorry I was quiet for a week. Something was going on in my life and I didn't feel like I was in the emotional head state to even talk to anyone. It's okay. Things will be okay. And people that are meant to love you will stay. People that are meant to be in your life will stay. And it's funny how we perceive longevity as kind of like a status of our relationship with people. We look at someone and you see their potential, or maybe you don't see potential at first, and then you try to wager their longevity. If it's someone you're interested in, oh, she's super attractive, I want to keep her around for a while. I feel like I could keep her as long as I can't really see the future, but I could keep her as long as I can. I'll try to keep her forever, but I don't know how I feel yet. And then you meet a friend and you're like, you're funny, and then sometimes they start acting weird and you're like, I could see this fading out. There's nothing wrong with them. I see it fading out. Sometimes you meet an asshole and you're like, wow, wow, I'm just going to be an acquaintance with you. I'm not going to do much more than that. But you don't need to, it's not a game. You didn't fail that friendship. You didn't fail that marriage. You didn't fail by showing up and upsetting them and kicking yourself because it didn't go right. And if it is over, if you believe that it's over, you've just completed that friendship. There's no fail, there's no win, there's no pointing fingers. Because pointing fingers is saying that someone won or lost. And that's not what it's about. That's not what relationships are about. So what, the person's an asshole? So what, they were nice and they turned out to be an asshole? So what, they were nice and you turned out to be the asshole? Well, I closed out that friendship. I completed it. I will learn from this. Or I closed it out, completed it, and I will learn from this because they need work, not me this time. And I say all this because I hope that I can help someone, because I suppress my emotions to no extent. I've burned bridges. I burned the biggest bridge that I never wanted to burn. And I don't want to see other people go through that. I really don't. And I really wanted a reason to use my MacBook because I love this thing so much. It's blue if you couldn't tell. It was like the lightest shade of blue. See how paranoid I am? I'm not crying. I got allergies in December because I hate myself. So how to know if you're suppressing. Some of these I wrote down. Some of them I took from therapist. You're suppressing if you tend to shut down during conflict instead of being direct. When you need time to think, you don't know how to ask for space or share when you're finished with the conversation. In the recent years, I've been better at this. Before I was not. I would always shut down and just dip. And I'll be honest, my parents did the same thing, but I learned it through friendships, through family, I just thought it was normal to just shut down because it's just avoiding conflict. But when I was a teen, I noticed that it started to actually create more conflict than it would stop. So I wasn't crushing conflict. I was honestly just irritating it and inflaming it even more. So I found that being more direct has been helpful. And let me also give the devil's advocate here. Being too direct can also bane the situation. It can hurt the situation. If you're too direct and you tell someone, you really hurt me and I don't know what to do about it, leave me alone. Obviously, phrased horribly, that is wrong. And that made them mad, and in someone's feelings, whether if you throw them off by saying that or they were okay until you said that because it was so just and rude and different from everything else you said or whatever it may be, that is wrong. You need to be direct and be calm. Being calm is so helpful. And that is like the main reason why things don't work is if you're not calm. Because of course you want to come out on top, but not for your own ego. You want to come out on top to know that you're good. I did good. I did my best. And by benefit, it helps the other person. I have so much more to say about that, but you're suppressing if you feel fine, but not good. You're functional, calm on the surface, but flat. No excitement, no relief, no real sadness. I have dealt with this in the last month and a half now. I've always used the excuse, oh, I'm depressed my whole life and I don't feel anything. I hate saying that because everyone says that when they're trying to be funny depressed, and it ends up having no real weight to it. But it's okay to not feel fine, not feel good, but that's just a sign you're suppressing. You just feel, I don't feel happy. I don't feel excited. I don't feel sad. I don't actually have an opinion. I started taking ashwagandha because my friends started telling me to take ashwagandha. And I know it's a weird, funky, whatever, hee hee hoo hoo ha ha pill. But I was starting to get so emotional that it was actually affecting me. So then I took it every couple of days to like kind of give myself a day or two where I just stopped thinking about it, stopped being so emotional, and it helped. There was about 3 or 4 consecutive days, I took it like 2 of those, 3 or 4 consecutive days where I was at peace at where I was at. I wasn't really bothered. Everything was good. I was a little sad, but it wasn't enough for me to like raise the situation. I've been going through something for the last month and a half, and it made me not think about it. Or maybe not think about anything really. But all that to say, that is also a sign. You're suppressing if you minimize your experience with your thoughts, like it wasn't that bad, or others have it way worse than me. That someone had a friendship falling out that was way worse than this. Someone had a breakup that was way worse than this. Oh, their parents hate them more. My situation isn't that bad. I don't have a reason to be this sad. That's not true. My take is that your battle, something very small like that. Okay, well, let me put it this way. Something very small like losing an acquaintance could mean everything to you. That could crush your soul and you could cry yourself to sleep about it. But someone having their grandma die from cancer can make them feel nothing. So the weight of your problem is not the weight of their problem. Not to say that is, downplay cancer or anyone's grandma. You just have to realize that the weight of your problem means to you how much it means to you. Don't ever discredit how bad you feel or let someone be like, well, I'm sorry, I went through this too and it hurt me really bad, or I went through this too and it didn't hurt me that much, so you should be fine. I was telling my buddy, this is a good example. I was telling my buddy I didn't like driving manual so much because I'm in traffic a lot. He goes, I don't mind. No shit, you don't mind. I do. I drive 30,000 miles a year. You drive 10 maximum. Anyways, the weight of that is much heavier to me. Is that a train? Oh my God, please don't be a train. Okay. I might also have to pause it again. I have to put in my AirPods too. Maybe it's going across the bridge. Honestly, that makes more sense. If you feel nothing in the moment, then emotions hit later when you're alone or trying to rest. I can personally say this one. I'm going to be vulnerable here. I always get hit with my late night thoughts around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. more so. And I've been waking up every single morning at 4 a.m. for the last 40 days. And that sounds exaggerative. It sounds stupid. It sounds like a sleeping problem. And it probably is. But I'm always thinking about the one... Is it really coming this way? I'm always thinking about the one negative thought. No, it's going across the bridge. I'm always thinking about my situation and my friendships, and I usually can't sleep past that. And my dad always told me, he says, no good thoughts happen after 9 p.m. And also don't listen to your thoughts after 9 p.m. It's really hard to do in the moment, though. I can't do it myself because I'm so emotional in the moment that I can't listen to what I'm saying. I want this more on my face. Ugh. I hope this is pointing at me, and I hope it's recording, and I hope that the audio is good, because I did not check any of that. I just know that I wanted the light on my face. That's another thing I try to do, is I try to capture when I'm confident on camera, like when I feel like my outfit is good, or something like that, or something about me I feel good about. I try to capture that in the moment. Not to say that every time I'm on camera I feel confident and great. But today is one of those days. I do feel a little bit better. My hair's a little funky, but you are suppressing when feelings do surface. They come out very intense, and they're not hard. They're hard to control. They're not easy to control. For me, I'm a guy, so anger is definitely like the key feature of our personalities. Stuff just builds up and you get real angry. And I understand why. I try not to externalize it. I usually punish myself in private about it, whether it's emotionally or physically or whatever. Not a good trait to have. Not a good trait to have. But that's kind of going back to what I said, is where I punish myself every day, hoping that the punishment will teach me a lesson. And usually it's emotionally. I'm not going to say physically, because it's not really physical at all. But and I'm going to repeat this so I can hear it myself. But growth is realizing you hurt them and moving on. I mean, looking at the camera like I'm looking at myself. You're suppressing if you manage your emotions well, but rarely feel release or resolution. I've grown a lot in the last month. I think I've grown a lot in the last month. I've talked to many people about my emotions and externalized, because therapy is very expensive, because insurance sucks. But I don't feel the physical release when I do such. There's only been maybe 2 or 3 out of like maybe 100 conversations I've had in the last month where I felt like a physical release and like I felt better. And I'll get back to that in a second. You manage emotions well, but sorry, I already said that. Stress symptoms without a clear cause can come out even physically. You get headaches, stomach issues, fatigue, chest and back tightness. These are all things I get from anxiety. Please don't come this way. These are all stuff I get from anxiety. And I tend to realize that is anxiety. It almost feels like a fever. My back gets really tight. I start to have trouble breathing. I get body aches. That is the biggest teller, is like I get body aches. I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting sick again. No, I'm not getting sick again. And then it goes on for like 3 days and I'm like, they haven't gotten worse. But I've noticed like there's nothing I'm inherently stressed about. But I did just go through something big, or I was very anxious to go to an event or like a work party or whatever it is. And I'm like, it could be the come down of that or like the build up to that, and you just subconsciously don't think about it. But stress does come out in physical symptoms, headaches, stomach issues. For me, it's stomach issues and back pain. Those are the 2 biggest ones for me, but that's mostly just my anxiety. Suppressing also comes out in procrastination, isolation, scrolling, binge eating, overworking, substance abuse. Personally, I don't have an issue with that. Instead of emotional expression, strong independence, like you need to do it alone. You try to take responsibility for others' emotions. So I don't have a substance abuse issue, but I do have a caffeine issue, and that is definitely like, I'm not going to say, oh, I feel really sad, I got to drink coffee, it is something that makes me comfortable. Food, not so much, which I guess I'm happy with. But I'm gonna make sure this motherfucker's still recording. Okay. 26 minutes. We're chilling. Yeah, I procrastinate a lot. I isolate. I beg for attention a lot because I feel like that's always going to be the solve to my issues. And it never is. It never is. But like posting on social media or texting someone multiple times, or don't get me wrong, I love attention, but I just want it from like specific people, and I'm like, once I get this, I'll be fine. Usually like that cures me. Like I'll be in a bad situation and I'm like, oh my God, someone's not answering me. I feel like shit. And then I get an answer from my best friend. I'm like, okay, things are better. My chest feels a lot lighter. I don't feel as tense. But it's a very bad habit. I'm going to move back to the chest and back issues and the physical stuff. My suggestion is physically moving. When I have had anxiety and back problems, because I have a back condition already, I have learned that going on a walk, if you can't run, is super helpful. Just do it. Go 10,000 steps. Just set yourself a goal of steps, and when you're depressed, the dopamine just gets you right off your ass. And if that can't fix you, it at least gets your bar up 10%, your health bar, however you want to see it. Don't binge eat. Don't procrastinate. I procrastinate a lot because I get sad and depressed and don't want to move, and I start scrolling. Something I have told myself I would do for years is just to do something instead of thinking about it. Like, don't think, just do. Don't think, just do. Don't think, just do. And I did it when I felt like it, but recently I started just doing it. Like yesterday, I rearranged my room, and something so small, I'm like, I'll just do it, when my excuse is that I'll do it when I have more time after work, because I had only a couple hours after work, but I'm like, I'll do it when I get home earlier tomorrow, or when I feel better tomorrow. That never happens. So what I did is I just started moving stuff right when the thought came to my head, and just doing, even if it's small. Don't even think, oh, if it takes 5 minutes or less, just do it. Don't even think the motivational quote. Just do it. If it's brushing your teeth, just do it. If you feel like, oh, you want to wait for someone, or you want to do something, or whatever it is, just do it. You want to eat healthy? Just go to the store. Don't think about what you're going to get. Go to the store. If you want to call someone, do it. If you want to text someone, you're nervous to text them. I do this with clients sometimes. I'm like, oh, very nice car. I want to take photos of it, but I'm like, screw it, type it. And I'm like, or I don't have a plan yet. Screw it, type it. And honestly, that bites me in the ass sometimes. But I'm going to close this out because it is Christmas and I would like to eat. Nothing is open though. I would love to say my biggest cry for help, because I feel like everyone has a cry for help in their own way. My biggest cry for help is asking people to hang out. Not every time that I do so means that I'm crying for help. But my biggest cry for help is saying, hey, you want to hang out? I'll be fine. Life is good. I'm very thankful for the friends that I do have. Here's a photo. Just widescreen. Here's a photo of me. If you didn't know what I looked like, that's what I look like on film. Low ISO film. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. if there's something you want me to talk about, please just text me, comment, because everyone that listens to this text me. It will help me so much because I love talking. I love talking about my emotions, and I like helping people. And I've told this to friends, but I wish in my specific moment for my specific situation, I could just record myself talking to other people about it and being like, I hate that this is going on. This is what I'm going to do about it. This is what I've been doing about it. But I don't want to name drop. I don't want to put my personal life out on the internet, even if my close friends are watching it. But I do want to help people. So if there's something that you need help with, you can be fully anonymous. Don't hesitate to reach out. I'm thinking about a few friends specifically that have asked me for advice in the past, and even if you don't need solid advice, just be like, hey, what do you think about this situation? Or what do you think about relationships where, you know, someone lives really far, or relationships where, or what do you think about parents that are a little too childish, or what do you think about parents that are super easy to be around, but I still don't want to live with them, or whatever it is. Like, you can be very specific, and I will cut into it because aside from being a therapist, I like helping people with their problems. So, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.